Tomo, floor is yours.
So I don't know how I feel about what's happening in the NBA, but as a guy in a group of people that are pushing 40, I'm joking, inside joke for the chats, but for folks that have seen the turn, the tide of an era turn, we went from MJ to Kobe to LeBron to a mixture of Steph, KD, and now we're seeing what some would say the YNs take over because it's a youth movement happening right now. And Joker had a lot to say with his complaints throughout the series. I mean, we already seen that SGA and the OKC Thunder, they rolled them in the Western, I mean in the Western Conference semifinals, 125 to 93. They got a lot of people questioning, like, is this it for the Nuggets? Has the window closed? Is firing the coach the reason why some of these things happen? Well, there's so many questions that happen within all of this, but is it actually time to sound on the Denver Nuggets franchise? So I'm gonna ask you,
And
and I'm gonna
Tomo,
ask the folks.
we got a video.
Oh, okay, because I was gonna get to that too, because I want to ask the folks out there as well. Like, do you think the window is closed? But I want to hear from Joker first before he tells us.
Nicole, do you leave this series feeling like you guys are still close to being able to win another championship, or what are your thoughts after two game sevens? And I know you dealt with health issues, not you, but Aaron and Michael. Do you feel like this team can still win a championship as it's put together now?
I mean, we didn't, so obviously we can't. If we could, we will win it. So I don't believe in those if stuff. So we had the opportunity, we didn't win it. So I think we can't.
Now I'm laughing because I couldn't. Only thing I could hear was Bibby doing his impression while he was talking. So that's
I'm
why I
gonna
kind of
go ride some horses and drink some beer.
so, so Joe. We said that Thunder was gonna learn a lot from this, but what did the Nuggets actually learn from this? Do you think the window is closed?
First of all, shout out to OKC. Um, but no, I don't think it's closed. I don't think the window is closed. See, the thing is with the Nuggets, did anybody here had the Nuggets going far this year? No. Especially after firing Mike Malone. No. The Nuggets actually overachieved what everybody expected them to do this year. With the firing Mike Malone, with the lack of shooting around them. Like look at their roster. They got Jokic, Jamal Murray, who's an unreliable star in the regular season, but he'll show up here and he'll show up in the playoffs. But you can't rely on him because every other year he hurt. Then you got Michael Porter Jr., who's playing with the injury, who played much better in certain games, but he hasn't really gotten better to develop his game. Then you got Aaron Gordon, who I thought took a leap this year, shooting wise, shot with 40% from three. Christian Brown showed some promising, but outside of that, I mean, Watson, Tyson, Westbrook. I'm about to say OKC and somehow it was rhyming for a second, right? And then everybody was excited about Struthers. I'm like, yeah, he just had a moment. And then what happened in Game 7? He looked like the guy he was all year. So what they have to do, they already did. Fire the GM. They fired the GM. They did a poor job of surrounding Jokic around with shooters. I've been saying this, Luka and Jokic. If you're going to have a team around them, you got to put shooters around these guys. Especially because they're going to draw a lot of double teams. They're going to draw a lot of energy. So the new GM they got, I don't know his name, new GM they got to go to work this all season. And who wouldn't want to play with Jokic? And put some shooters around him, guys who play defense also. And I say keep the head coach. The head coach did an awesome job, in my opinion. I thought he did a great job in the playoffs, managing the game, the substitutions, taking guys out when they shouldn't be in the game, putting guys in when they should be in the game. He did a good job this whole playoffs, in my opinion. Obviously, he probably made a mistake or two every now and then. That's everybody. But he did a great job. So as long as Jokic is wearing a Nuggets jersey, their window is not closed. So I'm going to say no.
Okay.
We in agreement, Joe. I feel the same way. As long as Jokic is there, the window's open. You feel the breeze? I feel the breeze, y'all. It feels like we outside in the summer. It's nice and breezy. Springtime is there. You smell the flowers and everything. The trees are growing. The window's open. It's the best time to have the window open. And Joe named all the facts. GM is gone. Mike Malone is gone. And look at what the coach did. And people. I remember me on the show. I put the Nuggets owner in the doghouse for firing Mike Malone. But guess what? The Nuggets owner is about to be out of the doghouse. The rookie head coach got into the second round of the playoffs and almost got into the Western Conference Finals. Took OKC to 7 games. There's no way that people can really believe that this window is closed. I understand that Jamal Murray didn't play like people thought that he would because we know playoff Murray is a thing. And Aaron Gordon was clutch in these playoffs. And then he got hurt in game 6, and then, he battled through it in game 7. But, I mean, the better team won at the end of the day. Most people predicted OKC to get to the finals. And right now, they're in the Western Conference Finals. Now, I know there were a lot of people that weren't picking the Nuggets in the first round against the Clippers, but we saw what they did to the Clippers. Beat them in 7, and almost went to 7, almost got to the Western Conference Finals again. This is without Jokic, again, not having an all-star teammate. So the window's not closed. I feel like they're going to surround him with better talent and get him some more help, because that's all that he needs at the end of the day. I mean, as long as Jokic is there, he's going to do what he does. He plays great in the regular season, and we know what this team is without him on the floor. They're a worse team without him on the floor. So as long as he's there, the window's open. It's not closed.
So as Dave would say, as long as Joker is there,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
There you go. There you go.
as long as Joker is there. Because the window can't be closed when you still got your franchise player. Now, the one thing I will say that is going to be interesting for this Denver Nuggets team is the scrutiny that they're going to have to face this summer. I think this is going to be the first time where it's going to be all eyes on Joker to say, hey, like, what's next for you? Where are you going? He's starting to get the Giannis treatment, where it's like, should they trade him? Who's going to be the actual player to help join them? Should they build around as far as like getting a youth movement in there? Because there's a lot of trade pieces that they can get to get some young players in there, but you can't go young when you got Joker on your team. Well, you can't go too young when you got Joker on your team, because at the end of the day, you fired your head coach right before the playoffs, and as Dave just said, you got to the second round with an interim coach. So that right there lets you know that some veteranism and continuity was there as well. So with the questions about Michael Porter Jr., or the questions about Aaron Gordon, and I know they asked Russ, is he going to come back? There's a lot of questions just going around how you build this roster. I do believe that you need to get a few more young pieces, but bring in some actual valuable vets to keep this thing going. The window's not closed, but like Dave said, it's hot outside. But the one thing that and has gotten into their house, some allergies, man. They might need an air purifier, because that locker room, man, they was in there sneezing and coughing and all that, man. It was getting ugly, Dave. It was getting ugly in there. But I don't think the window's closed for this team.
Yeah, and think about it. OKC, to me, it's the best team in the league. Like, I picked OKC before the season started. They got the MVP on there. They got home court advantage. They won 68 games this year, and they took them to 7 games. Like the Nuggets, based on the roster, if everybody had the same amount of experience, and just based on the roster, OKC beats them in 5. But the Nuggets, they experience kept them in the series, and Jokic in a couple of games. But they just kept fighting back. Even in the blowout, they were like, before the first half, what got out ahead was the highlight reel we saw, like the run they did at the end of the half. But that whole first half, the veteran leadership, like this experience showed up. Even Christian Brown showed up early. Like, you just saw Aaron Gordon on a grade 2 hamstring injury, getting rebounds. Like, what the heck? They just fighting. And I felt like this was the perfect series for OKC, because we want to talk about it next, but the Timberwolves, oh my gosh. Hey, in the words of Tomo, you're done, son.
Wait. You saying the Wolves is done?
Let's go next. Let's go.
You saying they done?
I'm saying they done. That's it. Finito. Okay. Finish.
Okay, we gonna see, because we gonna start with Dave on this one.